Today we're very pleased to have the chairman of the Board of Commissioners here in the studio with us, and we're always happy to see Steve Keene in the studio. Good morning.
Thank you, Wayne.
How you doing?
Good to see you this morning.
Always
Friday
good.
morning, TGIF.
I'll tell you what, I love it. And the weather has just been so great.
We need a little rain on the farms,
We
but
do.
we don't need any heavy rains. The soybeans need a little bit right now to fill out, but
Yeah. Of course, this always helps the fair.
well, it does. I believe they're going to have some knockout figures.
Yeah.
The attendance is grand, and I'm really happy for all those who have worked hard to put that together.
Yeah.
Brings a lot of people together, and I was there yesterday.
Were you?
Yeah,
All
yesterday evening. It was nice.
It is nice. We're very proud of our Wayne Regional Agricultural Fair.
Yes, sir.
All right. Steve, I want to get right to it. Yesterday, man, what a great day. We attended a groundbreaking ceremony at Georgia Pacific in Dudley, and they have a $9 million expansion underway now at the Dudley facility. What does that mean to Wayne County?
Well, they have over 500 jobs out there. 400 on one side, and they had about 150 on this side as we branched off and looked at the different divisions of Georgia Pacific, what they were doing. It was a huge decision on their part, trusting our county that they could come in and believing in us as providing the job skills, providing the people, educating their families, having quality of life for their employees. It shows a lot that they're believing in us as a county, and we're excited that they decided to stay and grow. And with the shutdowns of plants and manufacturing all over the country, and post-recession times, to come in and make this kind of decision was paramount.
Yeah, they obviously, it seems they do have trust in the county and
Absolutely.
and the way things are going.
Yes, sir.
Steve, the commissioners recently approved a $2 million to be put toward a new ag center. Now, there's nothing wrong with age, but our ag center, the ag center we have now, has got a little age on it. It was built in the 50s, and has done a wonderful job in serving the needs of Wayne County farmers and our agriculture industry. But now it is a bit outdated. Now we do need something. What encouraged or what inspired the commissioners to award a $2 million for a new ag center?
Well, since being elected in 08, that has been something that's been on the radar for the commissioners, especially for me in 08, and it was back in where Howard got hold of it in 05 and 06 and started that process, and we had some funds that were given by Senator, at that time, John Carr, who had allocated some money so we could do some study on that, and that was done, and then of course the second go around was in 2010, and we just, I guess the commissioners just didn't have it all put together, and I don't know. And in 12 we looked at the importance of agriculture, we looked at the importance of agribusiness, and yesterday with Georgia Pacific, Goldsboro Midland, Franklin Bakery, Mount Olive Pickle, Case Farms, those agribusiness corporations within our county. We're looking at the age of the Wayne Center, as you mentioned. Then we look at the 700 million plus that's generated in agriculture in Wayne County. Let's look at the big picture. Let's look at the infrastructure. Let's look at agriculture and what it means to Wayne County. And now let's look at what regionally the state and the federal government wants to look at, USDA, the research. And now let's look at education and how we can educate. Look at the fair and the exhibits that are taking place. But look at the research and you take row crops, and then you get into NC State, that they're looking to do more than what they're doing, and there's a possibility of a satellite piece of that whole process. So as we as commissioners are looking at this whole process of agriculture, we've got to put agriculture back as number one. Now, we make a big deal out of Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, and we should. That's $500 million. You've heard me talk about the times that the money turns over, about 4.2 times before it leaves Wayne County. But let's look at agriculture, over $700 million. And we have the property owners, the farmers. We're still a rural county. We do have the municipalities, which I hope we'll talk about before I leave this morning, about those meetings that we've had. We've got to rethink agriculture, and the Ag Center will do that. This research, regional, and we're not going to compete with Duplin County and Kenansville. We're not going to compete with Smithfield, Johnston County, or Wilson. We're not going to compete with these. This is different. This is going to be a different. Bill Pates is heading this up on the commissioner side. We got 3.5 years to go here, and we're going to champion this thing all the way through. We're going to go after it. We're going to go after some money on the General Assembly side. We've talked about the land, and we're excited. We committed that $2 million yesterday because we mean business. We're putting the advisory board together. Bill is doing that with the help of Mr. Smith, and but we're excited. We're going to drive it, and we're going to make it happen.
Well, while $2 million sounds like, and in fact is a lot of money, I mean, let's do the math here. We're talking about an over $700 million industry right here in this one county. Now, we don't have to be competing with Duplin County or Johnston or Sampson counties.
Right.
I mean, we are stars in our own right in the agriculture industry because we're one of the finest in the nation right here. And when you take $700 million in industry and build a new ag center for only $2 million, that $2 million, that's what, if you break it down, that's $2 million a day. So we're taking one day out of the industry and building a new ag center.
Well, the ag center, I agree with your methodology, but it's about 10 to 12 million.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
really?
and we're just showing that the funds were there. We did not have to increase the tax rate. We're just showing Raleigh. We're showing the General Assembly. We're showing USDA. We're showing agriculture that we mean business.
Right.
That money just doesn't sit there. We're taking this purpose of ag, and we're showing Raleigh that we mean business. It's not you give us and then we might come up with something.
Right.
Here it is. We've got it. Here's $2 million. Now we're ready to.
So we're serious about this.
We're ready to rock and roll right now. Yes, sir.
Well, it's exciting.
It is.
It's exciting to me.
I
love it.
It is, and all of those. The people are meeting and putting together things that we just don't have the room for.
Right.
The Wayne Center has served its purpose for the years it has, but we're in the 21st century. It's time to move up now, and let's put the diamond in Wayne County.
And the thing to do is to make sure that the new ag center that is built is not just for today's needs, but for needs that will come up over the next 2 or 3 decades.
Oh, absolutely.
The research we need to be doing.
Absolutely. I mean, we're looking at a 500-seat auditorium. We're looking at a study area that can seat probably 100 with levels, and kids can come in from schools and actually a room that is separated that you can look at through and actually see cows come in and possibly give birth to calves. We're looking at horses to come in. We're looking at taking the just animals and having a large plexiglass or glass wall that actually these kids can sit there and watch this happen. These veterinarian schools from Raleigh to come over and say, let's show you what we can do. And this is different.
This is great.
It's 21st century. It's 20, 30, 40 years. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's exciting.
That is exciting. I love it. All right, we're going to move on. The prison out on out near Cherry Hospital, just beyond Cherry, out on Stevens Mill Road. There is a movement on acquiring the former prison, which the state is closing, to help with our detention center needs. Now, as is the case across the country, jails and prisons are overcrowded, if you will, and that's happening here in Wayne County as well. This acquiring of this prison is a big move. This is good for the county as far as our detention needs. How far along are we with that, with getting that facility, and what will we have to do to make it work for us?
How far along? This is in the infant stage. We're just nibbling right now. We're not taking full food. We might get choked, but we are nursing on the bottle, I guess. We are looking at it. Commissioner John Bell has taken the lead on this. He's doing a great job. He's putting it all together. He's got a background in this, in probation and parole, and We've got the sheriff involved. We have about 8 to 10 different people on the committees that have toured the facility. The prisoners are gone. Now we're just having to work with Raleigh to ask them to convey the property, asking Raleigh to look at the regulations in a prison atmosphere, and then coming into the arena of a jail, and how do you make that transition from the prison and the cells and how everything is laid out. But the goal here is not to build a $40, $50, $70 million brand new jail. I mean, this is godsend. When Senator Pate called and said the governor was going to close 5 jails or 5 prisons, I said, this is just godsend. This is right on time, and it is. And there's a lot of property out there. There's a lot that you can do in planning for the next 50 years. We have just not only the buildings. The buildings are old, but the buildings can be worked and can be assembled in a way, or maybe disassembled, whatever. But we certainly can do the study. That's what we're going to do is a facility study to find out what it's going to cost, what it's going to do. The sheriff is very in tune of what he needs. Right now we're sending a lot of people in the jail. We can't hold them, 200 cells. We're sending them out to Greene County and to Smithfield, Johnston County. We're sending these prisoners a day. It's $50 a day that costs the taxpayers when we send somebody else out. 427 beds. We can have enough room to bring in prisoners and put them there, and we can charge the $50, exactly. And then we can make money off of that. So hopefully we can work all of that up. But we're excited. It's a process. It's going to take time. They've closed down now completely, and again, there's no prisoners there. So we're just in the talking stages with our House members, our Senate members, and in the House and Senate, and it's a state property. So here again, we're having to deal with our local officials to have them to step up to the plate and say, hey, we embrace this idea with the county. We're trying to save you money, and we're trying to do what we can in Raleigh to help you. So that's where we are right now.
Well, certainly the state would benefit from allowing Wayne County just to take the property. And Wayne County could benefit simply by using the facility for our needs at a fraction of the cost of what it would regularly cost us to build a new facility.
And I think that's what the governor looks at, is that when he makes these decisions, he knows there's a solution on the other end. I mean, I'm sure they looked at all of that, and whenever they close this one down, they say, well, if we just don't close it down and let grass grow over the roof, we close it down, and we're trying to work our system, but yet the county says, well, we need that. So we've got a system too that we want to improve, and we can partner with one another, and all of a sudden it's a win-win-win for everybody.
Everybody wins on this.
Yes, sir.
Steve, recently, in fact, over the last several weeks, county commissioners have visited several municipalities, towns, communities throughout the Wayne County area, and to find out what the needs are for these municipalities. And I think you've had a lot of success with this. So, what was the result of the commissioners visiting these towns and communities? We
became educated. That was the result.
Okay.
I mean,
what does that mean?
Well, here again, we're all elected at the same time in November. We were one of about 9 counties of the whole state that all 7 of us are elected in November. And when we come in November, then in December we take our seats and really kick it off in January. But when you do that, you're already 6 months into the budget, so you've got all of a sudden in March, all 7 of you have to get your arms around the budget. Mm-hmm. And the budget's half over, so we're having to prepare the budget for 13-14. So that's what we were in February, March, April, May, and then in June we approved the budget. So now that the budget was approved and we know what the departments in the county departments are doing, then the next thing to do is go and find out what your municipalities are doing. So in September, the month of September, we visited all 7 municipalities to understand what their needs were. And we saw that probably the greatest need is revenue, is a revenue stream. And that is what we do, I think, do best is we brought the tax rate down to 66 cents per 100. That's what it was in '03. Mm-hmm. It got up as high as 74.25, and it was brought down to 70. We brought it down to 66. So we're back to 03 levels. In fact, Wayne, we were the highest percentage decrease in the whole state,
Really?
Wayne County.
Really?
There was no one that reduced their tax rate percentage-wise than we did. We were number one. And we take great pride in that we see that now for businesses to come in, and this is the tax rate at 66 cents. And what we've always said, too, in the last 6 or 7 months is that we want to get the tax rate down so we can look at helping with infrastructure, helping with job creation, with businesses to come in who are looking at Wayne County, helping with education. We have got the rate where we want, the big picture is helping out. And with that, we have to have a comprehensive land use plan to understand agriculture, number one, Seymour Johnson, number two, and the landowners in these municipalities. Does the properties appreciate, or are these properties depreciating in these municipalities? You can't annex anymore. So you've got to look at these towns who are saying, what if they want annexation out in the areas that the county controls because of sewer, because of water, because of the infrastructure? And the interchanges are a big part of that. The Highway 70 is moving from where it is to bypassing Goldsboro. We want to know Pikeville, Fremont, 795 running north to south, south to north, going around those towns. You know, is there places that we can put infrastructure to make it more viable for businesses, whether it be residential or business or manufacturing or distribution? So we're looking at inland ports, we're looking at rail, we're looking at the whole picture. But it's time now. Mount Olive put together a comprehensive land use plan. They've put together a transportation improvement plan. Goldsboro's just got through with their vision 35, and everybody's putting the plans together. 70 corridor commissions putting the plan together. 795-40 connector, economic impact analysis on that. It's time for Wayne County now for the next 6 months to start looking at how we're going to plan Wayne County. And then in March, guess what happens? We start working on the budget again.
Yeah. That's right.
And guess what? All 7 of us are here for another 3.5 years. So we've got our work cut out for us. And we are, the commissioners, all 7 commissioners are working, meeting. It's the workingest group of commissioners, and when we go on these meetings outside of Wayne County, we're on the radar. People are saying, man, you guys you give out, aren't you? We're working hard at it.
You're going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it seems.
All 7 of us.
All 7 of you are.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you mentioned the 70 corridor, because there are concerns. Now, there are people who say, yeah, this is going to be good for the county. It'll help traffic move quicker through the county. But now there are some who say, well, this may not be as good as you think it is, because somebody's going to be losing here. So there are some businesses or communities that may be losing what would have been revenue coming into the community because of so give me an idea of what maybe the commissioners are thinking and I know you just mentioned this, but what are they thinking specifically about doing about helping with revenue in these communities?
Well,
I'm not trying to put you on the spot, you know.
Well, you're not, because you're talking to one that's been hammering on this since 08.
I know.
It's not new to me.
I know.
But, you know, here again, we've got 4,000 employees from Johnston County to Lenoir County on 70.
On 70.
A quarter mile each side. Right. You got 4,000 employees, just a quarter mile. And then you have about $400 million in property revenues that generate about $8 to $9 million a year in property tax, quarter mile each side, just on 70. You have 327 businesses, just a quarter mile each side. Now, yes, over time, the rooftops will be where the infill between the new 70 and the existing 70, the rooftops will be there over time. How quick that can happen, we don't know. But we do know that the interchanges, when they bypass, those interchanges have got to be business friendly. We've got to keep our tax rates low and we have to get our property values either to sustain or be higher and to appreciate. And that only happens when businesses recognize those key spots to locate. And then you have to have your water and sewer. What is going to happen to the existing 70? I think the regulations will be somewhat softened from DOT. I think it will become more of a friendly type of Main Street. I think you'll see an easy accessibility along I think it'll be a 70 business. And then the bypass will take care of itself. You'll have the people who are transient, but here along 70, the existing 70, you'll see your residential, you'll see your shoppers, you'll see it be more friendly, more accessible to businesses, and it'll be nice, easy exits and entrances off the interchanges. They're designed well, but you won't see a 40-42, Interstate 40 and 42 in Johnston County. Yeah. Right there, they planted, and I mean, it's a DOT nightmare. Yeah. But I think that DOT has done a good job with the interchanges, but we as a county, we have to recognize those interchanges to keep those property values up and keep the sales tax receipts. That is so important for education in this county and any county, is that you get the Board of Education gets a certain percentage of that 6 3/4 cent sales tax. And our county only gets 2 cents out of that 6 3/4. We get 2 cents. And then the Board of Education gets part of that 2 cents. And if that 2 cents, if that sales tax receipts, if they fall, now this year they're level with what they were last year. But we're down from 5 years ago nearly $4 million in sales tax receipts. That's a lot of money.
It is a lot.
So, but we're planning. Our finance director is going on what we did last year for this budget year, not showing a growth. So, as the businesses, it's going to be interesting to see what the sales tax receipts do over the next. Well, when the bypass opens in 15.
Yeah. Glad to hear you say what your ideas are on the existing bypass, the current bypass from, say, the Highway Patrol Station out to Wilbur's or out to 111.
That'll become business 70.
That will become business 70.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. And I suppose, I'm only guessing that East Ash Street will become, or Ash Street will become just Ash Street instead of business.
That is correct.
70.
That is correct.
All right. Okay, well, those are things that we have to look forward to, and plans are in the works to protect our own interest here in Wayne County.
Well, we've done, what else you want to talk about this morning? Barbara said we had plenty of time.
Well, we do, but I think we've just about run out of it. So we're going to call it a day, okay? And we'll save the rest of it for the next time.
Well, thank you. And it's been a while since we've been here. We've been real busy, and it's been probably 4 weeks, 5 weeks since I've seen you in this arena. So
but it's always great to have you come by and talk to us here in the studio. County Commission, Board of Commissioners Chairman Steve Keene, our guest today.
Wayne.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Wayne.